welcome to another episode of the Quadcast. We are broadcasting from the studio on a nice brisk Wednesday. I'm Nick Chiafalo. There is my host,
RJ Jadicki.
And finally...
Hi, I'm Maddie Byrne.
Who are you?
Oh gosh, a person?
Yeah, you are new here actually, because last semester we only had RJ and myself.
The boys, you know.
But since I was just two dudes in a podcast, we decided we need somebody to freshen things up.
I'm the diversity hire.
That's true. HR came down and were like, we need this for Twitter, all right?
Okay, anyway, I'm Maddie. Hi, I'm a chemical engineering major. I use they, them pronouns. I'm non-binary. I really like plants. That's a thing, right? I guess? I don't know. Plant! I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's a plant here.
Excellent, excellent. You know, you are probably the most important person we've ever had on this show. Because of you, and also a pandemic, you two in association, we are not in the control room anymore, but a nice big open studio.
I'm just here to do what I gotta do, you know? Help out.
So, the way this works is RJ and Maddie, 6 feet apart. I'm on my island here, hopefully not shouting at them, but we're just socializing and all that. So yeah, this will be our setup for this foreseeable future as long as this pandemic lasts, which ideally won't be that long anymore. So, to kind of kick us off, it's been a while since we've seen each other. How were your breaks? How did it go for you?
They were fine.
I mean, chaotic, but
as good as a pandemic break can be.
I mean, yeah. I mean, my parents decided to not follow pandemic rules.
Oh, no.
They just decided to not care. They were like, Thanksgiving, more important than anything else. And I was like, I guess. But my aunt and my cousin Jessica were like traveling everywhere. My cousin Jess is from California. So she flew from California to Florida, and my aunt flew from Maryland to Florida, where they spent like a week in the Florida Keys. And then they went from there back to Maryland, where they kind of chilled out for a couple of days, and then they came to us in New Jersey. And in case you didn't know, I'm immunocompromised, my sister's immunocompromised, my dad's immunocompromised, and so is my mom. And you know what my mom and dad said? Who cares? It's fine. We'll just have an entire big party with all of our family here. And I went, cool, I guess.
Mads, I guess your family just lives and dies by the turkey.
They do.
You gotta get that Thanksgiving. That stuffing only comes once a year.
Fun fact, my mom had us, like, my aunt made stuffing, right? And, like, my mom and I were cooking pretty much all day. And at the end, we realized nothing was gluten-free. And both my mom and I have celiacs. So, we did not eat Thanksgiving dinner. We ate mashed potatoes and green beans, and that was it. That was all. And you know what? Green beans do slap. So,
honestly, mashed potatoes is half the meal for me.
Yeah, but like gravy wasn't gluten-free. Like the turkey was stuffed with the stuffing, so I couldn't have any of the turkey. Like, I don't know what happened to the sweet potatoes, but the sweet potatoes were not gluten-free, and I was very sad because I love sweet potatoes. But yeah, they tried to kill me. Anyway, I've been talking too long. How was your break, sir?
My break was fine. Thanksgiving was small. Nothing nothing really interesting happened. It was a nice dinner. Good time with friends and family. Well, mostly just family, not friends. Christmas, on the other hand, was a bit of a different story. I went to bed Christmas Eve, so excited for the morning. You know, Christmas, open presents, you know, fun. We were going to have pork roast for Christmas dinner. My mom's pork roast slaps. Delicious. Like the highlight of the holiday was that pork roast. And I went to bed in my basement because my sisters kicked me out of my room because she slept in my room because she brought a boyfriend home. So RJ had to sleep in the basement. And I woke up at 3 in the morning to a powerless house and a bit of a hangover from his Jack and Cokes that I had that Christmas Eve. And I was so mad. I was so mad because we weren't going to get that freaking pork roast. And that was all I wanted. Literally, that was all I wanted. I just wanted that stupid pork roast.
Yeah.
And for just mostly for the rest of the day, we just did Christmas in the dark. And I was texting, like, my friends around town. Like, most of them had power.
It was just
The
y'all.
person down the street, I texted, I was like, you got power? She was like, yeah. You don't?
It was just y'all?
It was just like us. It was like us and like a couple other people in the neighborhood.
That sucks.
I was
What
like,
did you
what?
do to offend the Christmas gods?
What?
What did you do?
The Christmas gods?
Yeah, Santa.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
Santa just went, these people? No, absolutely not.
And thankfully we had a generator, so we all just crammed into our family room and hooked up a TV to it, and we watched A Christmas Carol. Not a Christmas Carol, a Christmas Story. What's the one where the kid shoots his eye out?
Oh, A Christmas
Story.
A Christmas Story, yeah.
I hate that movie, fun fact.
Same. You know why? Because it's just 90% kids screaming.
Yeah.
The little brother just screams.
Well, RJ, your childhood, like anybody else's, was probably 90% screaming because that's how kids are.
Yeah,
so,
but also it's the movie.
So, like, ugh.
Yeah, so tell the kid to shut up.
No, honestly,
and say his
Chris-
lines.
Best Christmas movie? How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey version. Slaps.
Pretty cool.
That is demented.
Not-
That gives me like
Excuse
nightmares.
me?
Not
What do you mean? It's like a live action Grinch, like the makeup is so surreal.
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
Nick, it can get worse. Did you see what's his name version? The guy from Glee.
Stop. No. I don't. The
Look
live action
that
Grinch.
up. Look up the live action
The live
broadcast
action
version of the
Grinch. Have
Grinch.
you seen it?
No, never.
Terrifying. Never watch it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, we watched A Christmas Story, which sucks. And then the power came back on and we got pork roast. And that was the only thing I cared about. We got the pork roast. I know you guys were worried, but we got the pork roast.
You know,
I'm very
I'm
proud of you.
convinced that Santa actually did that to you because you were a naughty boy, RJ. And since he doesn't run on coal anymore because coal is bad, but because
It's
he
really
just
green.
said, I'm gonna deny your house power. I'm just not gonna let you enjoy that pork roast. Maybe there was a Christmas.
But then he
miracle.
gave up halfway through around 3
He
o'clock.
went, you know what? All right.
It's a pork roast. I gotta let the guy have
He's a
it.
busy man. He like goes across the entire globe. He can't hold a grudge for that long. He doesn't have the schedule for that.
I mean, Santa could do anything.
I mean, people hold
Including
grudges for,
shut
like,
the power off at
generations,
my house.
So, like,
I
yeah,
guess he's got
I don't know.
he's got connected to Con Edison. How do you think he sells? Why do you think he sells so many like toys and electronics? He's gotten in.
Connected to God. Anyway, I hate Thomas Edison. Garbage human. Anyway, that's like my hot take. I just thought about that for like 10 seconds and I was like, Thomas Edison? No. But
Not a fan of electrocuting elephants.
no, I just think Nikola Tesla deserved better. And now he's getting what I mean.
And now he's got a car run by a bad person.
Yeah, just a very awful human.
Yeah,
Right,
now
like, just
he's
a
got that, which
general
is again why I say Nikola Tesla
mean
deserved
dude.
better. But
But it's cool because he likes memes. He's just like us.
We love billionaires who like memes.
We love billionaires who literally tweeted, "We can coup whoever we want" after they after he actually did coup someone.
I hate it here. Can I just say that? I hate it here. Anyway,
But breaks are fun.
breaks are fun. I was called a pirate by my aunt, who was very, very drunk. She told me that I looked like a pirate, and I was very happy with that because my outfit did in fact slap that day.
I would take that as a compliment.
Wait, how are you dressed? Like,
Okay, so I had like
She had an eye patch. She had a parrot.
No, I had like a long like skirt that was like striped on with like the belt that I am currently wearing now. And then like this
Flintlock
this
pistol
like
sword.
yeah,
The usual.
obviously. I had like a black like blouse that was like puffy sleeve, like one of the big puffy sleeve ones, and she was like, "You look like a milkmaid or a pirate." And I was like, "I'll take pirate." And she was like, "This means you got to drink now." And I went, "No, thank you." Because all they had was beer and I can't have that. But
Beer's kind of icky too.
beer is kind of icky, I will admit. But yeah, I was told that I looked like a pirate and that was fun.
if I was called a pirate, I would take that really personally because that either means I stink or I look diseased, like I have scurvy or something like
But
that.
like, you eat a lot of oranges, you don't get scurvy.
You eat like a orange and you don't get scurvy.
An orange. You would eat any fruit, any citrus.
Yeah,
It's
really.
just no scurvy.
So
like-
how come the pirates didn't think of that when they were getting scurvy left and right like a few hundred
they were
years
Because
ago?
they were on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
They
They
could
were
have packed.
They probably
No, they
drank,
literally couldn't.
They probably drank the seawater. water, and they were like deranged. Like,
dude, it took like months just to get from an island to a different island. You think a tangerine's gonna live that long?
No.
You know the shelf life of a banana? It's like 2 minutes.
I'm sorry that I'm not empathizing enough with pirates of some 200 years ago.
Pirates were fun, okay?
Pirates, real life pirates were not fun.
No, but y'all ever play Black Flag? Y'all ever play Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
Have I ever played a video game before? Yeah, they're great. Except that part leaves out the whole, raping and pillaging part.
Okay, here's the thing though. There are two separate camps for how people view pirates.
Okay.
Which both of them can have some historical, gusto to them. Not the correct word, but you know what I mean.
You mean accuracy?
Yes, historical action. Anyway,
this is such a weird hill for you to die on. I'm sorry.
So there is the camp that pirates were all of these terrible, terrible people who raped and pillaged and caused all these problems. The bad interpretation of pirates. But then there's also the interpretation of pirates that they were so drunk 90% of the time that all they did was sleep and sing and sleep some more on a boat. And that's it. And then there's a bunch of cool lady pirates who are super duper fun, that just had their boobs out all the time. That was an interesting time. Yeah, exactly. There's good pirates.
Listen, we're not saying that the lady pirates with their boobs out aren't great, right? We're all on board for that. But there are just other pirates who
raped and pillaged and did bad things.
We're criminals.
So wait, are we really gonna do the hashtag NotAllPirates? we really
right.
doing
That's
that?
what I'm saying, Maddie. Who are you trying to defend here?
I'm not convincing. I just watch a lot of YouTube about pirates.
Watching a lot of documentary about pirates. Who's your top pirate, Maddie?
I'm sorry?
What's your top pirate?
My top pirate?
Number one. Who would you want to meet?
There were these two lesbian pirates. There was this Asian pirate lady who had a girlfriend, and I forget what her name is, but she was really fun. And they were cool, because they just people were they were great buddies, as they do in history. And they were ooh, they were great buddies till the end of their days, but they were definitely girlfriends.
See, why wasn't this in Pirates of the Caribbean?
I don't know. They just decided that Johnny Depp was all that they needed, and they were correct.
Well, after the third movie, not as much. And then you realized, oh shoot, I'm actually here for Will and Elizabeth.
Yes, correct. Okay, anyway, I feel like we've been talking about pirates too long.
I feel like we haven't talked about pirates enough.
To conclude this one senseless topic, let's just pose the question to our viewers. Do you believe in APAB? All pirates.
APAB. Okay, anyway.
Are we defunding pirates now?
I don't think you can defund pirates. They're dead.
Yeah, they're criminals too.
Yeah.
So who's funding?
I guess
George Soros is writing out a check to pirates.
Anyway, we've been talking about pirates senselessly, and I will die on my hill that not all pirates are bad. But
all right, cool.
Swell, excellent. Generally, how are you guys feeling? I admit I'm not feeling too great right now. I'm in my last semester, which is, great. I'm almost out of here. Sad. But I've noticed I've really been deteriorating. So, I had this, bad pain in my foot. I get back pains now. And I have this terrible ringing in my ear. You could say it makes me irritable. Okay.
Thanks for showing up. This is Quadcast.
This is Quadcast.
It was a good run while it lasted. But I don't know. And then somebody, last week, I told them I was 21. They thought I was 25 the entire time I was going to grad school because I have just been so exhausted. I don't know. We're, 3 weeks in to, the semester, but I'm already kind of feeling burnt out. That might just be my default state. How are you guys holding up so far?
I have a quiz every day. Every single day. Chemical engineering is made to kill you. That's all I'm going to say. How are you?
Being a comm major is nothing but bliss. Yeah, it's fine. I have to take a chemistry class, and I have to get up at 7:45 for a chem lab.
Oh, that's gross.
But honestly, that's the worst part of my schedule.
Who do you have for your lab professor?
Oh, he's younger. He's a new dude. I am horrible with names. The only name that I have remembered is Oppenheimer, and he's my chemistry teacher, because that's the guy who invented the nuke.
Yes.
And that's Yeah.
That's all.
Those are all the names I remembered.
That's fair.
So you just remember that one teacher because he just has the same last name as the guy who just made the atomic
The
bomb.
person that's teaching me chemistry has the same name as the guy who invented the nuke. That's pretty funny.
You know what? Irony.
That's a cute connection.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
What a fun
cute.
fact, cute connection. Jeez.
But
Yeah, no, it's I don't want to. I can't really complain. I like my classes. I'm taking a class all on comedy and on like stand-ups and stuff.
Oh,
That's
no.
pretty.
That
It's cool. It's interesting.
I feel like if you put something like comedy into a class, they're just really gonna just kill it. Like
But
if
that's the point. Is that we're trying. It's less on like let's look at this joke and understand the structure. It's more of like let's look at this on a sociology aspect.
why does this land?
Exactly. Why is this humor cool? Why is this humor offensive? How does this comedian structure their set, their performance that's different from others? We watched Hannah Gadsby's Nanette, which was a really cool piece. I really enjoyed it. And it talks about how she had this one joke about how she hit on this guy's girlfriend, and he got all mad. He was going to beat her up. And then the girlfriend was like, nah, she's a girl, it's fine. And he was like, oh, that's cool, it's whatever, you're a girl. And he walks away. And she makes a joke that, usually as part of this community, I want to teach other people about, about our lives and, want to, embrace and stuff. But I didn't do it, and I just kind of ran away. But what actually happened is that guy came back and kicked the hell out of her. And she would leave that part out of her story, out of her joke, because it did exactly that. Kind of killed the joke. And she talked about how her sense of humor and how she has survived in the world as comedy has really messed with her head. And I think that's just a really cool,
That's
interesting
actually
piece.
really interesting.
It is. And then it had a huge debate on what is and isn't comedy. And you can imagine how well that debate went.
I learned why ketchup is a fluid.
Wait,
That-
you just talked about the chemical engineering. How did you get into that conversation?
No, I'm just saying ketchup is a fluid.
Really?
It's a non-Newtonian fluid.
So we learned two different things
Yes,
in our school.
you learned something very profound and interesting. And my teacher looked at us dead in the eye and was like, you know how when you have a ketchup bottle and you gotta hit it really hard to get it to flow? That's why it's a non-Newtonian fluid. And I went, why am I here? Why am I here at 9:20 in the morning learning about ketchup?
So when you have to work fast food in the future,
When I
you'll
no
be like,
longer
I know that ketchup's technically a fluid.
Yeah, I mean, air is a fluid, so, which is...
Wait, what?
Yeah, air is a fluid, so
Because air's like a gas.
Okay, a fluid is basically anything that can fill a space, right? So, you pour water from a jug into a glass, and it will still continue to fill up the space with no gaps or anything like that. Air is the same way. Air fills this room, air fills your lungs, air fills, if you have a jar full of air, you technically have a jar full of air, it fills a space. But that's basically the definition of a fluid, and it's very basic. But, we were talking about not Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluids, which is, one of them is, proportional to shear stress, and one of them is non-proportional to shear stress. And it's about ketchup. You can learn about toothpaste, how you have to squeeze a tube of toothpaste to get it to come out. That's because it's a non-Newtonian fluid.
You see, the thing is, I never got with science. It seems like a very complex way to explain that something just takes up space in something else. It just seems like a very complex, convoluted way to explain that.
I love my major. I do. Engineering is a scam. It's a scam. Okay? Engineering is only a scam.
But bridges.
Yes. No. I believe that there's an application for everything. However, I learned in my professional development class, which I have to take as a chemical engineer. I take two versions of it. I take 301 and 302. And 301, basically they taught me, when you get a job, we're going to reteach you the way that we do it. Right? So they're going to reteach you the science. I don't have to learn any of it. They just have to reteach it to me. Or if I don't know something that I have not learned in my curriculum, they will just teach it to me for free.
But wouldn't it be better just to have, right? Because, if I was the person hiring people, wouldn't you want to hire the person who already knows it so when we do have to reteach it, it goes by much faster?
No, they just look for you as a well-rounded individual.
So will you be dropping out soon, Maddie?
No, I will not. I spent too much money, and I am here for good.
Yeah, I mean, you're halfway there.
I'm
at this
halfway
point.
there, so I'm just going to stay. But chemical engineering, wow. They just, every semester, they just go, are you sure? Are you sure you want to be in this major?
I mean, like, there's other things. The
giving you
comm
a way
kids are
out.
watching movies. You can do that.
No, it's because I take mechanical engineering classes, electrical engineering classes, and civil engineering classes as a chemical engineer, right? So I'm in environmental engineering principles right now and electrical systems, both of which are a civil engineering class and an electrical engineering class, respectively. I have to take classes that other majors take because they go, chemical engineering, you gotta use all of it. And I'm like, so I'm getting a comprehensive degree of all of the engineerings while also taking Orgo 1, 2, inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry 1 and 2, analytical chemistry.
It's a lot of chemistry.
Yeah, a lot of chemistry. But I got an A in chemistry, so we take that.
We take those.
We take
In
those.
this household, we take those. We take that.
Anyway, part of me wants to drop out and be an art history major, but
Part of you wants to eat food and pay rent.
yes. Please, thank you.
Now, RJ, your other major's poli-sci, right?
I'm double majoring media production and political science.
So this must have been an interesting month for you, hasn't it? This
Oh, it
past-
was a hilarious month for me, Nick. Just as a human being, it was just, wow, what a time to be alive, right? I mean, it's not every day that the Capitol gets taken over during an election.
That was on my brother's birthday, so we were trying to have a good time, but every other minute was like looking at the news and something was happening constantly, and I've never seen anything like that in my lifetime, quite honestly. Like, where were you guys at during all
I was at the dentist. I walked in, blissfully ignorant of the actual for real coup that was trying to happen, and walked out to my mother listening to the radio, and she just goes, "Listen to this," and I'm like, "Okay," and I was like, "Oh wow." I didn't know that was a thing people
I
did.
didn't know we were allowed to do that.
Yeah,
I
or,
didn't
I
think
know
it
we're
was
not
that
allowed to do that, but like,
It was so incredibly easy for them too. Like, they were just climbing on the walls like they were like ladders, like in a video game, basically.
can we give a bit
Assassin's
of
Creed, again. Freaking it up.
can we give a little background information in case like 20 years from now we want to look back on this and just remember? We're talking about the Capitol attack
Yes.
during the certification of Biden's election win.
Where people, terrorists,
We're Trump supporters.
Trump supporters, and, terrorists, decided to just walk into the Capitol. They were let in.
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
Admitting them to a carnival because, like, there was actually a cop who actually moved, like, a guardrail, and they just came in. It was the most civil thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the police Capitol people died.
Yes, they beat a cop to death.
Yeah.
They chased cops down the hallways of the Capitol. They went into big room, lots of chairs.
Senate chamber.
Senate chamber, thank you. Brain. They went into the Senate chamber, and people had to run out of there for their lives. A lot of people had already been evacuated from that space by the time that they got in there. And then they all just sat and berated police officers, and then they were all escorted very nicely out of the Capitol. Now, people were shot.
There
A
was
person
one
was
clip.
shot
A person was shot
and died.
and died. And people were like, but they were in the Air Force. And I was like,
You shouldn't invade the Capitol.
Yeah, basically.
circumstances are still unclear, I think, of who shot her.
It was like a security.
Was it a security
There was
guard?
like a video of it.
No, because I thought that there was like a misfire or something like that. But like, I'm also
Oh, it was a misfire,
Yeah,
so
it
they
was.
didn't even mean to do it.
or something like that. I don't know. Brain does not work. But yeah, I'm like, she died, and everyone was like, boop, and I was like, they were invading the Capitol.
Yeah.
They were climbing the walls. Ah!
They effed around and found out.
Wow, that's Philly's
the-
unofficial catchphrase. Like,
Really?
yeah.
I thought I'm gonna punch this police force now.
No, it's the city of brotherly love, or the unofficial slogan is F around and find out.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
we're gonna destroy our town regardless if we win the game or not.
Yes. Anyway, you were gonna say something.
Oh, yeah, no, I was going to mention how there was, like, footage, like, I don't even want to delve into this because it's the stupidest thing, but the Q shaman was there.
Yeah.
The guy who was, like, dressed like,
Uh, The
kind of like
horns.
as a buffalo.
Yes.
And the thing is, there's this clip of him in the Senate chamber, and he's having this like really like civil conversation with this officer, and the officers are like, okay, this is like a really sacred place, so I'm asking you guys to be respectful here. Like he's taking them on a tour, and the Q shot was like, oh yeah, sure, man, I got you. It was the most surreal thing. It was the most surreal thing how they just let him in there and everything like that. I mean,
yeah, they were like asking them politely to leave like the places that they were all.
No, you
like,
can't come in
invading.
here. No, get out. What are you doing? You can't be in here.
I think the equally interesting thing I should say was that not only like was the actual event interesting, but the aftermath that followed, because that same day Trump's Twitter got banned, right?
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Then he went onto like the official president's account and started tweeting from that, and then they had to delete that.
What platforms banned him? It was
Like everything.
Twitter,
Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest.
Pinterest.
You know that one's gotta hurt.
He can't make his little like aesthetic.
I know,
mood
he just wants to
boards.
make a little mood board, talk
little
about
MAGA
astrology,
mood
but
board,
nope,
you know.
no more of that.
He can't.
Pinterest got him.
He can't make his little MAGA mood board.
I think
you
like
know? Oh.
Spotify even banned him.
Really?
Spotify banned him. YouTube did something.
So wait, are you telling me that our 45th president cannot listen to Kid Rock and Lil Wayne?
Our 45th president can no longer tweet about Diet Coke, which I think is hilarious.
He can't hit his Diet Coke button for it.
Yeah, also that too.
He can't beef with Cher
Diet
on a
Coke.
random occasion.
Yeah, no, he
like
can't
usually
crap
does.
all over Rosie O'Donnell because she said something not as nice as he would like.
I mean, there's a whole calm senior thesis to be had on how he used the media. Like that time passed.
Or how
Yeah,
the
I remember,
media
like-
fully profited and totally allowed it to happen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like
Oh, thanks, Twitter. Now you're gonna ban him.
After he's been inciting this for literal years.
After you would literally mark his tweets as fake and not real, you wouldn't ban him until an actual for real coup happened.
Because no one wanted to actually listen to what he was saying.
'Cause Twitter wanted to make money.
I mean, it kind of reeks of like a too little, too late kind of feeling.
But now you gotta get on Gab. Gab.com.
Or Parler.
No, that
was
got
one of
taken
the
off.
funniest
Oh.
things over the break that I saw. Like,
Do you know their social security numbers got as a way to sign up for Parler, there was like special features that you can only access if you gave them your social security number. Which I can't stress enough, never give anyone your social security number because it's your social security number. But these enlightened individuals gave Parler their social security numbers, and then they got hacked and their social security numbers got out.
Yep.
that was also taken down the same day too. Like
Yeah.
Parler was taken off the App Store. It was just such an unreal. And then that sparked a discussion about cancel culture. One of the most annoying buzz phrases, not buzzwords, buzz phrases that, it's in the common discourse. Do you guys think it's real? What do you think about it?
No.
Okay,
Cancel
there.
culture is not a real
Is
thing.
it cancel culture or is it consequence culture?
Ah, yes. Lovely. There's like one guy who's truly been like canceled, and there was this guy named like Miles something who was like, I don't think it's too bad to like, rape children. And they were like, not you. No. And then he was like dropped off the face of the earth. Like that is like a true cancel. Like, James Charles gets canceled every other day. Trisha Paytas gets canceled every other day. But they still have a platform. They still have people who support them and love them. Same thing with, like, the 45th president of the United States.
Yeah, Louis C. Cancel got canceled, and like a month later, he started doing shows again.
Exactly. Like,
So canceling isn't really a thing. It's just moving your audience to a different platform or section or segment.
or you're forced into an apology that you don't actually mean.
and then
what-
you'll just keep doing it.
And then they're like, oh, okay, they've changed. They've apologized. Like, Trisha Paytas, I will bring up again. I'm sorry, she uses she and they pronouns, so I'll probably go in between both of those. But, like, they've been going on and on about, like, different things every single, like, month, it seems like. They came out as trans, like, female to male. And then came out saying that they had DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, and that they had alters, and they caught switches on camera of them switching in between, like, their alters, but it was clearly fake, and clearly, like, and if you were actually doing that, you wouldn't want to put that on the internet, because that's like a very personal thing.
Let me prove to you that I have this.
Let me prove to you that I have this disorder. And then, like, now they've come out as non-binary, but one of the things that I really cannot get over, like, after all of that, I never really liked them, but, like, after all of that, they got a boyfriend.
Quentin Tarantino?
Well, not Quentin
Which
Tarantino.
is true.
Yes!
Right? It's real. Nick, did you know that?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
They dated. Look it up.
Quentin Tarantino.
There are pictures of them. I didn't believe it the first time I heard it, too.
But anyway.
But it's real.
Their boyfriend's name is Moses, I'm pretty sure, and they are Hebrew, like actually from Israel and all that kind of stuff. And then Trisha Paytas made the claim that she was trying to become Jewish, which is a normal thing. You know, a lot of people convert to Judaism, like every year. You have to go to your rabbi, you have to ask 3 times because they are legally not allowed to accept you the first 2 times. Like, they actually are not allowed.
So wait, do they like append to each one, like, are you sure? Are you really sure?
No,
Or-
it's like, usually you can go, like, separate times.
Can you go, like, 3 days in a row?
Or-
so, like, Monday,
or
no,
you can-
Tuesdays, no, Wednesdays, fine.
It's like, kind of like that, or you can literally just ask them 3 times, because basically what that's supposed to mean to them is that you are actually serious about becoming Jewish. Like, you are actually
And this
devoting
is
yourself.
like, U.S. law or whatever, or this is, like, religious law?
No, that's like a religious law. When I say
Okay.
legally not allowed, like they like in their religious law, like if you want to be like convert to Judaism, you have to ask the rabbi 3 times, and the first 2 times they say no. They have to say no.
Right.
But then the 3rd time, they're like, if you're really serious, then yes, I will allow you to convert to Judaism, which is great. And you know, but they've never made any effort, Trisha Paytas has never made any effort to actually go to a rabbi and be like, I would like to become Jewish, I would like to become Jewish. But then capitalizes and profits off of, like, Jewish culture. So, like, where's the evil eye? Like, where's the Star of David necklace?
Do you know if
Like,
Trisha's been
well,
showing, unless, you know, they're
I mean,
vlogging their...
They literally, like, post about everything. But another thing that's hard to believe that they would actually try to be converting to Judaism is that they sang a song from the producers called Springtime with Hitler.
Oh, classic.
And they were hiling on the internet, just, like, for the song. And never actually apologized for that to actual Jewish people. Because they were like, hey, this is kind of blatantly offensive, especially if you're trying to convert to Judaism. You should know that this is, like, not okay to do. And they were like, oops, ah ha ha, and then never took down the video. TikTok took down the video. They didn't.
I think Trump also got banned from TikTok, which is hilarious.
Nice.
He tried to ban them. They
They
flipped
went,
the script
whoop.
on him.
But, yeah, Trisha Paytas gets canceled every other day, is basically my point, for, like, multiple reasons. But then, like, just comes back, like, the next a week after, and, like, everything's fine, and people support them.
As long as you just have a core audience that will give you money,
Yeah.
it's really hard to cancel someone.
J.K. Rowling is an excellent example.
J.K.
Yes!
Rowling.
Every time, like, I swear, like, every other month, she says some transphobic stuff online. And people are like, oh, no, you're canceling J.K. Rowling. Meanwhile, like, I think she's going to make money off a new Harry Potter TV show that's in the works.
TV show,
Harry
video
Potter
game,
video game.
Fantastic Beasts is still going.
expanding the Wizarding World.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts is literally on for 7 movies. I think there are only 3
Oh
in.
my god.
So-
Did anyone even watch the second one?
No.
Because I didn't.
Crimes of Grindelwald sucked. It was bad. Because,
Nagini was a person.
well, yes, but that's like an actual thing that's in the canon. I'm really into Harry Potter.
So am I. But there was never once reference that snake was a person.
I forgot that I was sitting on my phone. No, so basically they were like, but how can Nagini be like this? So people, like, theorized that she was once a person, blah, 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 blah. But, like, yeah, it was never, like, Nagini was a person.
Why can't it just be a snake?
Like, but then, like, the story went from being about Newt and his Fantastic Beasts, which is why everyone was hype about his movies in the first place, because it was this guy with a little suitcase full of animals. That's why I went to go see it. Also, Eddie Redmayne, chef's kiss. But, like, like, it's just about Grindelwald and Dumbledore now, and how they have, like, weird eye tension all the time.
Because they're
like,
gay.
Because they're gay.
But they can't show it.
No, they can't show that they were
China
gay.
will get very mad.
But then also, J.K. Rowling's like, I gave you guys Dumbledore. What else do you want? And it's like, maybe
I
not...
tweeted that Dumbledore was gay. Would you want me to put it in the books?
Also, maybe don't name a character Cho Chang, which is literally 2 last names.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of retroactive thinking. Like, but I did this and did this and did this. Well, why don't you actually, like, watch yourself now? Like, the thing is, when people say, like, this person's canceled and everything, people want to be victimized so much, especially rich people with a lot of influence. Meanwhile, they have the platform, they have the followers to just carry on.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it's a really ridiculous concept to say somebody is really, like, canceled when they get renewed, like, the day after.
Yeah.
Someone got thrown off of Star Wars, and now they're making some movie with, like, Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Gina Carano.
Yes.
Because I think she said transphobic stuff or something.
What
like
a
that.
drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, cancel culture isn't real. There's no substance behind it. Yes, like you said, consequence culture. Oh, it's just a consequence of your action.
But is it even consequences if a person gets canceled and then there's a whole other audience just willing to be like, oh, you got fired for saying messed up stuff? That's cool. We love that. We will literally pay you to keep doing that.
Yep.
Is it canceling?
No, it's just like a consequence of losing one audience and gaining another.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, garbage.
It's basically narrowing your demographic just a bit and saying, okay, this is my niche. Like, I'll stick to
and
this.
then making videos being like, thank you all so much for the people who, like, stuck by me all these years. I know that I've done some problematic things. And it's like, then change.
Patreon.
Yeah, support me on Patreon. Like, just change your actions. Like, if people are telling you that you are doing an not correct thing, be like, oh, my bad, sorry.
Yeah, but Matt, it's hard.
It's hard.
And also, I don't wanna. They're very comfortable with who they are as a person.
I know.
Because if they weren't, they wouldn't do it.
Like,
or if they did, they'd do it once and then be like, oops, my bad. I feel embarrassed about this.
Yeah, it's like Sia. Like, you know that Sia's making the movie about...
She did come out with it, I think.
Yeah, like with the movie about the autistic person. And she cast a non-autistic actor.
Classic.
And then portrayed a person with autism as, like... She was, like, low functioning when... Low functioning and high functioning are garbage terms that you should not use. Because they are... Again, autism is a spectrum, like many things. And you cannot claim one thing to be low functioning and one thing to be high functioning. I'm only speaking on this because my sister has a disability, so I have a little bit of experience, but I just don't... Just so that everyone's not like, how are you talking about this? You don't know.
But you were confident with your pirate talk.
I was.
You were ready for that.
I was ready for.
You watched 3 documentaries on YouTube and you were like, hear me out.
And played Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
And played Assassin's Creed Black Flag,
On
which
top
we
of it.
all know is just as good as a history book.
I'm sorry.
We all made them sing. We all made the pirate crew sing Drunken Sailor. We did it. It was fun.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, 19 years of experience in the disability community, you know, interacting with many people with disabilities. I'm not well versed in this subject. Pirates? Now hear me out. This is a lifetime of experience. Anyway, like, just portraying people with autism as, like, low functioning and, like, mimicking and, like, mocking their facial expressions, like, you know, when they're having a meltdown, showing a meltdown in the movie, which is a very private and very embarrassing experience for many people with autism, and just, like, blatantly not listening to the autistic community.
Could you make an argument, and this is from a person who has 0 knowledge of the autistic community?
Oh, this should be great.
Yeah, so get ready for this. Couldn't you make an argument that showing a meltdown, if done correctly, can show people who, like me, who has very little connection to the autistic community, wouldn't showing a meltdown kind of just make that person, I guess, I don't know, just show what they kind of go through a bit more?
I would argue that it could be educational, but that this movie was not made, 1, for educational reasons.
Right.
2, meltdowns are different for every autistic person. So showing one type of meltdown does not mean that you are going to be aware of all the different types of meltdowns that autistic people are going to go through. Also, meltdowns can only be shown with that person's permission. That's a pretty general thing of consent is needed for your like meltdown or anything really to be shown. Consent is important, but it's very hard for me to justify having a meltdown in this movie, especially when it's a non-autistic actor performing a meltdown of what they think an autistic person.
There's a level of insincerity.
Like, that's a level of insincerity that I'm just not okay with, you know? Like, it's just something that I'm like, it kind of like grinds my gears. It kind of makes me, like, it's icky. It's icky.
It just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right. Like, if this was an actual autistic actor saying, this is how I am going to portray what I have had meltdowns to be like, different type of thing. But this wasn't made to be a documentary. This is made to be a movie about an autistic person, and it was not made for educational means. Like, so it's kind of hard.
You ever seen, I think it's called Riding the Bus with My Sister?
No,
It stars Rosie O'Donnell. You would hate it.
I would? Yes. Like how I would hate What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Yes.
Yeah, you would absolutely. I'll send you the trailer when this is
God,
done.
Please don't.
You will hate it. You will be actively mad. Because when I saw the trailer, I was like, wow. This did not age amazing. This was not the Golden Globe or Oscar bait that I think Rosie thought it was.
That's the thing, too. People, like, look at this, like, I'm going to take this marginalized community, and I'm going to try to get an award using that.
I'm going to exploit them for my own personal gain. And, like, my sister has multiple disabilities. My sister has Down syndrome, juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, type 1 diabetes. Like, you know, she's got a lot of things going for her. And the amount that people try to... My sister's also an actor. So she goes and she does commercials for, you know, a lot of... And, like, you know, she's a diversity hire, and my parents know that. But, like, the way that people just want to capitalize off of people with disabilities rather than actually, like, show them and, like, actually be like, no, we would like to cater towards these people rather than just exploit them, it really just hurts my heart a little bit. I guess I'm a little... I mean, like, I don't expect... I hope that it eventually gets better, but, like, my expectations are very low, unfortunately. So... Anyway, I'm, like, a little sad now, so we're going to change the topic.
Yeah, let's,
I'm a little
Nick,
sad.
tee us up something lighthearted.
Well, honestly, I think we've covered a lot of ground. We've covered Christmas break, your power went out, your family tried to kill you.
Exactly.
That was a great that was a great way to start the show. We segued beautifully into pirates. APAB, is it a valid cause? Yeah.
Let's get that trending on Twitter.
Please.
Talked about the insurrection, cancel culture, how it doesn't exist. I don't know, maybe are some of our views of this episode so controversial that, like, we get to say to the camera, hey, I'm oppressed now. Please, people are censoring me. I doubt it.
No.
I don't think anyone will care.
No one will care.
No one will care enough to even try to censor us.
Yeah,
Who's going to look at this podcast and go, these people need to be censored?
We would have to be really, really terrible people for somebody to say, hey, shut up. Meanwhile, we're a student-run podcast with, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about, like, 8 people in the studio, if even that.
It's cool.
All 6 feet apart.
Next podcast, we'll wear a mask that says censored on it because we're being clearly censored on our own podcast that reaches millions of people.
Yeah. Because, again, people in power, even with as little power as this, love to say that they're censored. So I think we can actually end it off here. This was a very productive and enlightening talk. We got a new room, we got a new host, and just a plethora of interesting topics. I've been Nick Chiafalo.
RJ Jadicki.
Maddie Byrne.
And this has been the
Quadcast.
Okay, wait.
Oh, man. This is the first time and you blew it.
I'm sorry.
To be fair, that's what we did last time.
Also, I was not informed.
Is it still too late to get a new hire? Or is it?
I was not informed that that's what we were doing.
He put his arms up. Like
I saw it.
Podcast.
I was orchestrating.
I didn't. You think I was
Matt, you've never been in a choir before? You're not watching the conductor?
I'm sorry that my soprano oneself doesn't remember how to do.
Classic soprano not watching the conductor.
Because I always have the melody. Leave me alone.
As a bass, I take that. Just kidding. I was a bass in high school because I was like one of 5 dudes.
And they were like, "You're gonna sing the low part.
You're gonna sing the low part, kid." And I was like, "Rad."
Rad.
So from the top, we'll We'll time it.
Okay.
We'll edit all this in post, by the way.
I'm sorry.
This has been
The
Quadcast.
See you next time.